Okay, so welcome everyone to my podcast, Master Your Emotion and Find Your Truth and Live with the Truth. Because long time ago, when I was starting recording the podcasting, that was like the only things like a live with your truth. Sorry, speaking with your truth, no live. But today I just only added again something you need to be really truly sure you are living with that truth with yourself. Anyway, today is a number 36. Like always, I'm talking to my audience and just giving them a tiny taste of the numbers and the meaning of the numbers. But these numbers, I'm just only giving you from the point of view angelic numbers. So what the angels giving to you, what kind of the message they're sending to you. So like maybe you don't know, but today will be know. The number three is a number, Trinity number is a powerful number. And that number is giving you the lots of messages around your creativity. So I would like to say, if you've got any issue around the creativity, flow in your life, abundance, go and check your sacral chakra. Okay. And number six, like a number six is that beautiful number because that's symbolizing the family number. So what the angels, the masters saying to you, you need to go and have a look inside yourself and inside your family. And the family that could be the collective consciousness, or maybe the family that would be father, mother, and the children. I don't know. That's your message for you. But if you would like to know more, you can go dive deep in and you can go and research by your own. I'm not going to give you the all information. That will be disempowering you. So thank you for that. And today I've got a beautiful guest. Oh, I couldn't stress. Oh my, actually, I couldn't find the right word to describe my happiness today and excitement. And we had a lot of challenges at the beginning, our podcast, one which is only press the recording. But anyway, that's meant to be like that. We are here today. So today with me is a beautiful soul, is a Dr. Jane Smolnik. She's a beautiful lady. I couldn't stress enough. I would like to say that because that's coming to my mouth second time. And she's a natural medicine homeopath. Can I say like that?
The naturopathic doctor.
Natural path, and the holistic quantum energy medicine, and for the deeper healing on the level of the DNA. And also, she developed something beautiful, BioField Clearing um, modality. That's amazing stuff. But I would like to give her time to speak about herself. Welcome warmly, Jane.
Oh, thank you, Gabriela. I'm so happy to be with you. And I just love working with you. Like, you're just an amazing healer as well. So it's an honor. Thank you. Yeah.
Would you mind just when you say a little bit your background, a little bit for my audience,
Mhm.
if I missed something and I didn't
Okay.
say about you?
Okay. Well, I live in the United States right now. I'm in North Carolina. I lived in Vermont for a number of years. But I've been in this holistic health practice field for almost 40 years. I used to have a 70-acre medicinal herb farm in Vermont and made herbal formulas and taught herbal apprentices. I also became a naturopathic doctor. I'm a clinical iridologist. I do kinesiology. I'm a certified intuitive healer. Went to school for intuitive diagnosis and advanced energy medicine. And in my practice for almost 40 years, what I'm noticing, it's really not just about telling somebody what they need as far as vitamins, minerals, nutrients, and change of diet. All those things are really helpful. But what I see and what my passion is was to help people heal on a deeper level, down to the level of the DNA, because we are not just physical bodies. We have a mental body, an emotional body, an energy body, and a spiritual body. But also within our DNA, we contain about 34,000 bits of information. A little bit is about our genetics, how we look and stuff like that. But a big part of it is we're bringing in DNA from our ancestors. Like Gabriela was saying, it could be from the collective field of, a bigger picture, or it could be our personal family line, and for all of us, humanity has really struggled and have been through traumas and suffering for thousands of years. So when things don't get healed, um, it gets carried down through the DNA. Now, my feeling, and I've worked with many people with all kinds of diseases like cancer and diabetes and autoimmune conditions and so forth. And I feel like we have to address a deeper level. So over the years, I developed BioField Clearing, which is a set of maybe like 24 charts because of the fact that we are not usually conscious and aware of what's really going on. Our consciousness is only 10% of our brain, which is in the prefrontal cortex. The back is 90% of our brain, which is the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind. And very often, when we're trying to live and grow and heal and prosper and create a loving life for ourselves, we don't see or understand what those challenges are that keep presenting themselves. I call them transparent filters that we experience our life through. There can be limiting beliefs. There can be old traumas that never got healed, old wounds, many different things, some blocks, cords, all kinds of stuff. So it was a passion for me for at least the last 10 years to how do we get down to the level of the DNA to actually heal somebody? So with these charts, one of the things we do, and I've worked with my guides for many, many years, and they really helped me develop this. And when I did, I thought, man, this is so great. Everybody needs to do this. And then my guide said to me one night, now you need to teach this. And I thought, oh, what a brilliant idea. I hadn't even thought about that. So I put it together and they helped me fine tune things. And we teach this to practitioners so that all around the world people can access it. And people can also do the training if they really want to learn how to do it for themselves and their family, as well as all different kinds of practitioners. So, kind of what we do is based on somebody's concern. It might be a health issue, it might be a relationship issue, it might be financial issues, that things that are chronic that happen over and over again that we're struggling through. So, with your permission, what we do is we connect, we ask your guides, your angels, your higher self, your team, maybe your medical assistance team, what is it that needs to be healed and released? Now, I also want to say that underneath all disease, it usually always starts as a shock to the system. Something may happen that's traumatic, and it may or may not be from this particular lifetime. It could be from our ancestors. Like if our ancestors went through a true shock or a trauma and they didn't get a chance to heal it during that lifetime, it gets passed down through the DNA. And then we have it, but it comes in on an unconscious or a subconscious level, and we don't even realize it. So when we access your guides, your angels, your higher self, and we ask them, with your permission, what needs to be healed for this person in order for them to truly heal? Is there a trapped emotion, a trauma? Is there a core fear? Is there an inner challenge? Is there a block? Is there a limiting belief? Are there cords? Are there old vows from previous lifetimes that need to be healed? Is there negative programming that needs to be released? We've all been programmed in a way, So the purpose is for us to truly be empowered. And I call it being aligned with our true self, our highest self. Because all these things, our fears, doubts, worries, judgments, limitations, all these things pull us off center and out of alignment. They weaken us. They're like, oh, but wait a minute, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not strong enough, or I don't even know what to do, or I'm not worthy. There's so many things that are common for so many of us. So when we determine these things, then we do an energetic clearing, which can happen with anyone, anywhere in the world at any time. We can do them long distance because we're all connected.
Perfect.
And the energy is connected,
Yeah, that's perfect. That's because, okay, so if the people just only listening you, and you mentioned at the beginning, we are doing this clearing on the deeper level. So that's mean from the DNA you are mentioned, because some of the people just only saying, what is that deeper level? I never heard that. How I can go dive in? Because we are on the different level of the consciousness. So if they're resuming that stuff, so the DNA, so we're going really, really dive deep in. That's me on the DNA level, when we just only inherited or just only created that limiting beliefs and the trauma and etc. I would like to add something. I've done the clearing on my partner last night, and that was something amazing pop up. I would like to say amazing for me as a practitioner, but I was like, he had a no limiting beliefs, core fears from his future incarnation. I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So he came from the future to change his future. And he was like a mind blowing. He said, I never knew it that if I didn't do that session with you, because that's impossible to know Is that mean that
right.
we are doing work on the deeper level, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So kind of what you're talking about is, and for people to understand, it's like it's all about frequency and energy.
Yeah.
And the energies in our biofield, as well as kind of being triggered in our DNA. The things that we call the things that push our buttons or trigger us are the things that are being sparked because they're trying to get our attention.
Yeah.
But as you're talking about, it could be from the past, it could be now, it could be from the future. Think of time is not necessarily linear, like past, present, future, and today, tomorrow, and next week.
Mhm.
It's actually all stacked as to right now. And one way that we can comprehend that is thinking about kind of like radio stations. They have a particular bandwidth, and you can tune into like 99.8 or whatever and get particular types of music and information. You can change it to go up to like 107.9 and get other information, or you can go down. You see what I mean? You can change it.
Yeah.
So when you were actually accessing something from the future or even from the past, we can look at those things and change it, help it. But the interesting thing is, sorry, my computer's getting darker here. Um, we don't always know. In fact, we usually don't know
Don't worry, we
what it
can
is.
hear you. Don't worry. Just leave it at
Okay.
computer. It's like we can
Trying to
hear you.
because it is subconscious or unconscious. This is why everybody comes into this lifetime with some guides and angels. Nobody comes in alone. We are supported. So by connecting with and asking your particular angels, your guides, your higher self, your team, your medical assistance team, what is it that needs to be healed for this person? And then we dowse through the charts. And, we learn how to be master dowsers and we dowse through the charts. And it's like, okay, so this is what we need to clear. And we usually ask the person. We can also ask, well, where did this start from? What realm did it come from? Was it this lifetime? If so, we can, determine, well, how old were you when this happened?
Yeah.
Was it prenatal? Was it from your family line? Was it ancestry? Was it a past life issue that never got resolved? All those things may come up. And then when we do the clearing, we use ancient Egyptian healing pendulums. This is one particular one I will show you. This is called a Mer-Isis pendulum. These have been used for thousands of years. Now I'm
Oh,
getting too bright. Oh,
yes.
that's so.
Just keep it.
So, yeah, I guess it just energized my computer, huh?
Yes, that's true. Leaving that
Yeah,
or low vibration energy from the computer, from any kind of the right?
yeah. So basically, we create a powerful magnetic vortex of light. We bring up that person's energy field, almost like a hologram,
Mhm.
and we do this sacred geometry pattern, this vortex of light, with very specific commands to draw out, neutralize, and dissolve any of these particular things from all time, all space, all dimensions, and all lifetimes. And then it's complete. But once we actually clear a number of items for that particular person, and that's enough for one particular setting, it might be 8, 10, 12, 15 items that we clear. Then we go to the healing charts because now we have wide open space that we neutralized. So then we see, okay, what does this person need to realign with their highest and true self? What empowering beliefs would be helpful for them? What messages from their angels or guides can we give them? What do they need to master for their infinite beingness? What are their inner healing keys? So at the very end, we have 21 inner healing keys, which are actually like little mini spiritual practices that your guides pick for you, because it may be something that helps you get more clear, helps you to see things in a different way or to shift things in a different way. You might relieve stress. You might bless and forgive your past. You might open new doors to different possibilities of what's possible for you, because there's an unlimited realm of possibilities that already exist. So we don't have to stay in that limited realm of struggle, and trauma and illness or suffering.
Mm,
So that's where it totally empowers and inspires somebody.
that's amazing. But if somebody is not really good and a huge believer or didn't have any faith and coming to the session and sitting, is that works as well on him, or just we need to have that belief system inside us, or that faith inside us, or that trust inside us?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I always tell my students, you have to trust the process. If somebody's actually coming to you and asking for it, trust that they're asking for it. And their guide, like we don't necessarily know what it is they need. We can
Mhm.
guess based on logical training, right? But when we connect with their higher self, their angels, their guides, or their ancestors, they're the ones that guide the session. This is what they're ready to heal or release, because otherwise they wouldn't, like, or they wouldn't know. Oh, I'm so sorry. My light keeps,
It's okay. We can see you.
yeah,
You've got a very nice bright clothes so that we can see you. So if I would like to come to, for example, I mean, the speaking the truth and the emotions. Let's go to only talk a little bit around the emotions. If somebody's got a like an anger issue, frustration, as a all, I would like to say overlapping anger and frustration because that's based on the intensity. So where they need to come and where they need to start, I don't know, how you would like to support them. So if they've got an anger issue or just any frustration, so they can come and they can sit down and just saying, okay, I've got this, and then
yeah. So, and that happens very much for a lot of people. There's anger, there's depression, there's grief, there's sadness, there's suffering. So ideally, we do this in a very loving and compassionate way. So when we actually ask their guides and angels, then we and say, okay, well, this is, what you're experiencing. It might be shame or guilt or fear, and then we can determine where did this come from? Where did it initiate from? And we always ask them, does this make sense to you? And very often they do. And then we clear it and neutralize it. And if they say, nope, that doesn't really make
yeah,
sense to me,
yeah.
we just clear it anyway. It's like, okay, let's just trust the process. We'll clear it and move on to the next one. And what I always find is it's bubbling up for them. And usually a little bit later, they go, oh my gosh, that made total sense. And I didn't even realize it. So we're bringing things into their conscious awareness. And that's when we have control over things and we can neutralize them. We can dissolve them. We can turn them off so they're not going to continuously be triggered. And it takes a little bit of time because the body's always rebuilding itself, renewing its cells, including, as a cell replicates, it replicates the emotion that goes with it. So once we turn that off and it replicates, we no longer carry that around, that struggle, and
So
we get stronger and stronger.
so how long does it take? I mean, the replication, the regeneration, or just only giving time to the new energy come to the body?
Yeah. So every single person's different. Everybody comes with wherever they're at in life, their own consciousness, wherever they are with their ancestors. So every time we do a session, I find I usually take about 90 minutes to do a full session with someone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then they have to integrate it for a week or two, because it's like, okay, now we just shifted their vibrational energy to a little bit of a higher range and they integrate that. Then they can come back and go again and go a little bit higher. You really don't want to, I mean, you can't do like too much at once because it might throw them into a healing crisis. Just like detoxing too quickly can
Yeah.
do that. You're eliminating things. So we do it and we just trust the process because their guides, their angels, their medical assistance team is showing us what they're ready for and what they need to release, as well as what they need to strengthen their alignment with their higher and true self. And it's empowering for every single person. Everybody feels more inspired, more alive. They might feel more peace, more calm. They might feel more intuition. Um, they might feel more of a sense of purpose. So many things happen, but it definitely helps every time.
Amazing. Do you have any experience? I mean, would you mind just only share any kind of the experience with your clients? So that will be the people who are watching us. There will be no, that really works because that the
Mhm.
human brain doesn't trust too much. If they didn't see, they didn't touch. Yeah, they
Mhm.
need to have
Yeah.
evidence like, oh, that's really works. So I can go for it. That's really helps.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many people. I've done a number of sessions with people that have done numerous sessions and they keep going deeper in their healing.
Hmm.
But I actually had one young man that just really struck me because he was only in his 20s. And he said, I really want you to help me because he's had such debilitating anxiety his whole life. And he's like, I can barely function. My mother's constantly giving me a hard time and he didn't know what to do. So I said, okay, doesn't matter what their issue is, right? So we do the session with his permission. And what was coming up was this was something that happened many lifetimes ago. It might have been hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And where his mother was also with him in that particular lifetime. But they experienced a huge earthquake where the earth was like falling apart beneath them. And it was like, grab, your brothers, your sister, or whatever, family members. You cannot fail because it was such a trauma. It was a tremendous shock.
Mm.
And, they failed to a degree. They lost family members in that. So it was like so interesting for him because it's like my mother keeps telling me, you cannot fail. You've got to do this. You've got to do this. And he didn't even realize it wasn't him. It wasn't from this lifetime. It
Yeah.
was from this trauma that kept wanting to be addressed and released and healed. And even a week later, he said to me, like he emailed me and said, oh my goodness, he's like, you have no idea how much that helped me and shifted my anxiety because it really wasn't him. And we did that healing for both him and all ancestors,
Oh,
including his mother.
yes, that's why, that's why just when you're doing on yourself, you are helping others on your lineage and family. Even your us, I mean the collective consciousness of the place you born or country you born, and that's all the patterns. Yeah, that's why it's so deep. That's why it's so deep. That's why I love everything
Yeah.
around it. Because we don't know what our body is holding. We can just only go like a like this morning I just only said to my partner, it's like we are kind of the robot. We're doing the stuff we unconsciously we don't know where that come from. And that's so amazing. So how we can say, okay, for example, if somebody got a financial issue or if somebody got another things, unexplained behavior and they're doing over and over, and that's going to also help them and support them and just allow them to unravel their own truth around it.
Yes. Well, I'll give you an example from my life
Okay, yes,
because,
please share.
I mean, I come from a long line of entrepreneurs. And of course, I had my own business since I was in my 20s because I was working on my herb farm, my business, my company. I made formula teaching, all kinds of stuff for years. And I remember my father always said to me, you got to work hard to make money. Money's hard to come by. And, things are a struggle. And there was all these limiting beliefs that were programmed into me,
Mm,
you know? And I struggled constantly. And it was like, no matter what, I did all kinds of training over the years. I paid thousands of dollars and I'm exploring beliefs and trying to change them and all this stuff. And I'd go up in little increments and little increments and little increments. But it was a deep chronic issue, you know? And then finally, when I put together all the biofield clearing work and I did that, that was the biggest pop for me, the biggest shift, because I could very quickly and easily identify not just emotions or beliefs, but, trapped energy and cords and blocked energy, and subconscious fears and all this stuff. And I could just clear and release and neutralize them. And things just blossomed and opened up for me. And I was like, wow, so any kind of chronic condition, it could be a financial issue. Some people have chronic relationship challenges,
mm,
some people, there's so many different things that it could be. Um, and it's just extraordinary to me how it's actually not that difficult of a process. But we need assistance. We help each other out,
yeah.
like we're helping somebody out to determine what is it that they're not seeing that they need to heal or let go of or neutralize, dissolve it. We're
Yes,
not changing their beliefs, we're just neutralizing those triggers.
I
Mm.
definitely agree with you because when somebody is holding the space for us, it's completely different when we are holding the space for
Yeah.
ourselves. It's like I can cry hours, but if somebody is holding the space in front of me, they can give me a hug and they can share their own energy. Yeah, wow. Actually, they can see me as a human form, as a soul as well as light being from the different perspective. So I couldn't see in my own eyes because when I want the catharsis, I'm just only crying or just only screaming or any kind of the behavior. And yeah, they're going to find me. Yeah, that's so crucial. We need to allow ourselves to ask for the help.
Yeah.
That's so. That's
Yeah.
so. That also
So
could be asking for the help as well. Where does that come from? To be ashamed, ask for the help as
it's
well. Yeah.
that inner urge, that inner knowing, like we all have that, to be better, to be, like if you think about it, the higher emotions, which would be like love, compassion, appreciation, kindness, joy,
Yeah.
prosperity, all those things are what we're striving for. Every single person on this planet comes in with their own challenges and struggles in life. And it's the things that we need to recognize and turn around so that we can be more in alignment with who we truly are. Because it's those lower vibrating emotions that bring us down, the fear, shame, guilt, struggle, trauma, worry. So
Mm-hmm.
once we release those, we can help to allow them to rise up to a higher state of awareness. Yeah. So how do you find it in your practice when you're working with some people?
Uh,
Um,
yeah, that's how that Jason, you would like to do that this podcast for the others because I would like to show them how it's easy. I would like to say how it's really easy to remove
yeah.
and transmute that energy for the highest good for yourself. And yeah, so many lifetimes. I would like, yeah, that's true. So many lifetimes. That's
Mhm.
completely true. I was struggling around my financial issue. And then I remember one of your sessions, the door will open straight away. And now I see lots of opportunity, like I just when you can see the tunnel and the tunnel full of the doors, like I just opening one open and another is going to open again and again and again. So that's so amazing. Yeah, that's when I'm doing on myself is amazing. What I'm doing and holding the space for others is much more beneficial, not just only for them, but for me as well, because I'm clearing and they clearing. I'm clearing for them. Yeah, that's so beautiful. And we're
Yeah.
rising the collective consciousness because also we're clearing the small portion of that energy, that dense energy.
Yeah. And everything we do to heal and to kind of raise our vibration contributes to the whole. We're all in this
Yeah.
together, and we're all going through an amazing time of the great ascension right now, the great shift. And think about the fact that we are all connected to and created from this divine, unlimited creation or creator, in a sense. And every possibility you could possibly imagine already exists. So we can pick and choose what is it that we want to experience. We are divine creators. But to do that, we have to clear those transparent filters like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I don't have enough money. This doesn't work for me. It's always been a challenge. We have to let go of those things so that we can be real clear and we can be happier, healthier, wiser, more prosperous.
But how we can let go that? Through the biofield clearing or just we need to do something more? How we
Well,
can
that's
let
why we go into the 21 inner healing keys, because those, like I said, are little spiritual practices. Because we ask your team, your guides, like what would be most beneficial for this person right now? And then we
okay.
review it with them and they're asked to practice that. It might be shifting your viewpoint to see a much bigger picture of what's happening. It might be draining and releasing all the accumulated stress from our adrenals or our body. I mean, there's just so many of them. So, because they also have to contribute to, and they're choosing to, heal and shift in a better way. But it's helping them every single time to get more clear to, oh, it's like, okay, I got it. Now I see why this was happening to me, you know, and to make better choices. And we often give them an empowering belief to take on, almost like putting on a new costume, because all the limiting negative beliefs that we've been taught or we've been told keep us struggling. So once we identify them and clear them, it's like, okay, what if I choose to be, this beautiful, magnificent being and everything I need is already here
Oh,
and my
yeah.
body's healthy? Your body has memory of being a totally healthy being, like when we were a child, right? What if you go back to that memory? I have energy, I have total health, enthusiasm for life. So anyway, there's so much to it. There really
Yeah.
is. And it's a beautiful time to do this because we're all, the light is coming in from the sun, from the solar flares, and light carries information. So it's increasing. It's lifting the veil, increasing our vibration, our energy, and our ability to do this. It's getting easier and easier.
Yeah, but also the thing is like when we're doing the biofield clearing, we need to also look after our okay. I understand we're generating, we're creating the sacred geometry and that vortex that we're just only removing. I know some of you just are listening us and saying, oh my goodness, what are you talking about? So you need to use your imagination, just go back to your childhood and just use it and just visualize that's really, really happening in front of you already. But then that's moment when we are creating and we're clearing, we are removing that stuff and we just only sending all the way to the source for the transmutation. But that's amazing stuff. I would like to say it's like oh, I lost my question. I'm so crazy now. What I would like to say. Clearing, healing. Oh yes, I've got. Thank you so much. Oh,
Yes.
that spirit is close to me. Yeah, they're waiting. So I mean that when we're doing the biofield clearing, we're clearing that, but also we need to look after our physical body, like you said at the beginning, just supplementation, taking the minerals, vitamins, because we need that. We need to nurturing ourselves as well. We need to just only feed up, because sometimes the people are saying, okay, biofield clearing and done and all, but they forgot to paying attention. I remember from that the spirits guide and or angels just giving uh, the people the inner healing key. So that's why we need to do that, and how long we need to do that, and why we need to do it. Because some of the people, I had the experience when somebody came to me and he said, "Okay, I thought that would be just only done straight away, so I don't have to do the work on myself." So is that works, or they need to carry on their own practice, spiritual practice?
Well, they need to take it and to carry it, to be in alignment with it in a sense. So, what we usually tell people after a session is you're going to be integrating this new vibration for the next few days. So, I usually advise people to avoid like sugar, junk food, alcohol, because it just brings our vibration back down again. To do things to take extra good care of yourself, be out in nature, do things that positively help your vibration go to that next level. I mean, we can't necessarily make everybody's lives just totally magic in a sense, and they don't have to do anything. They have to choose it, they have to want it, they have to ask for it, they have to, be in alignment with it. And they usually do, because every single time without fail after a session, people feel more aligned, more empowered, more inspired. And everybody on heart level wants that. On a head level, our little ego mind gets in the way sometimes and says, oh, you're not going to do that, whatever, but it's like, no, come down into your heart center. What does your heart and soul feel? That's really where the important work goes. And that's what we're learning as a society. It's now a time to be in service to humanity and support each other instead of service to self and competition and how can I make more and give and do more and make more money and I don't care about you, I care about me kind of thing. It's like that doesn't work. It doesn't work for humanity. It doesn't work for us. It keeps us kind of trapped a little bit. So anyway, it's all good. It all works and it all helps. So if people are inspired to do this, I really encourage them to do it.
Yeah. No, but the only thing I would like to ask you how people know they've got the issue inside them, in themselves.
Everybody does.
Yeah, but sometimes
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, if they're totally unconscious to it and don't realize it, they have to come to a place where they realize, you know what, this is a struggle for me. I need assistance. I need help with this. And sometimes we don't know why these things keep happening to us. And when we can determine, oh my goodness, this was an ancestral issue that you're bringing in from your ancestors, a trauma or a survival issue or, a wound. I mean, think of all the woundedness humanity's gone through. We are all here right now healing our ancestral wounds and our traumas. We've sometimes experienced them in our own personal lives right now. And sometimes it's like our family lineage or the collective field from our ancestry. So it's like everybody knows that they have issues that if you're not happy and joyful, and living the life that you choose and want, then there are things getting in the way. But like I said, 90% of it is in the unconscious or subconscious mind. So that's where we can help by connecting with their team,
I love that what you
and
said.
they point the way and they make it very clear. We can always ask, is this correct? And it is. So we neutralize that energy.
That's
But
a
there may be layers of things, I just want to say. And I always say it's like peeling away layers of an onion. We do the outer layers first. And sometimes it takes a few sessions to get all the way down to the core when something's been very chronic.
yeah. So that's making sense now because when I heard somebody was channeling some messages around everything what we've got inside us, actually not inside us, like a backpack on the back, that all the garbage, all the trauma and all the limiting beliefs and that kind of low vibration we carry in. It's not ours actually. That's like just when you said, Jane, that's ancestors. We're healing. But my question is not only my question, but also the people who are watching us, and also my partner question is like, why we sign up for it? Why we don't just only sit down on the beach and just have a beautiful drink and just only watching the sun, enjoy the sun? Why we that's so crazy.
Yeah. Well, I heard a really good answer to that recently because here in the third dimensional realm on planet Earth, where we are, we have a wide range of emotions and a wide range of experiences. And it's like we come here to actually experience these things on a bigger level and to do some healing as well. Where some of the higher dimensional beings, like, seventh, eighth, ninth dimensional beings, they have a narrower bandwidth, but it's a much higher frequency,
Mm,
so they don't even have the bandwidth, in a sense, for the lower vibration, like war and struggle and rape and killing and all kinds of stuff. It doesn't even occur to them because it's not in their bandwidth. But sometimes, we do come down here as humans to experience it, but also to help at this extraordinary time for humanity, because we're going through a great shift and there's so many people on this planet that choose to be here in order to go through this, because we're moving into a really divine time of moving into the age of light. We've just completed a whole long cycle of darkness
mm.
and difficulties. And that's changing and going away. So people are drawn to this right now like crazy because they know it's important. When you feel in your heart and soul, you get it, you know it. Things have
Yeah.
to shift.
Yeah, that's called as a
So,
waking time when they start aware, oh my, there's something, oh no, okay, let's go dive deep
yeah.
in. But so many just saying, why I didn't choose? And they're so blaming and just only feeling that energy, like you said, but also you said that's
Mm.
beautiful stuff. If you start
So,
questioning too much, you're just standing in front of your high timeline or something like that. I don't know. I changed
yeah.
the frame, but yeah, that kind of thing.
Well, people get tired of like running around on the hamster wheel, like we do the same things over and over again, and we're not really shifting because we're not changing our consciousness and our awareness of things. So, this is where we help somebody change their awareness of what is this? Where did it come from? Why do you have it? Can we kind of let go of it? Can we bring it up to your conscious awareness so that you have power over it and can neutralize it, can dissolve it? And that's what's really the important part.
Yeah, so bringing and changing the consciousness is just only the things you can do, just only aware, be aware around yourself as a human form, as a human being, and just only watch
Yeah.
yourself from
Yes.
outside of yourself. I don't know if that makes sense for everyone, but like watch yourself from outside of yourself. So for me, what helps for me, that was like I remember the inner healing key. I just only receive it, and I've got close to my bed. I print it out. I recommend everyone something like that. Print it out and be aware, and just only read it every evening because that's really crucial. Just few seconds before you're falling asleep. So I've programmed myself like I'm now outside.
Yeah.
I'm just watching myself. So yeah, that's a
Yeah.
beautiful.
So that's one. And, I'll give that as a little gift. It's like the observation mode in a sense. When you put your awareness, instead of being in your head, move it up above your head and connect with your higher self and just look down and observe, watch yourself, be a master observer. Our higher self is always neutral. It's not judging, it's not blaming. It's just like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder how Jane's going to handle this. And
Mm,
it's like, just observe, how are we being? What are we saying? What are we doing? Just watch ourselves. And when we do that, that little monkey mind goes away and we naturally will self-correct because now we're connected more with our higher self. So that's one of the practices. That's one of the inner healing keys. So that's a beautiful one to bring up. Yeah.
Yeah. So how is that feel? I don't know. That's like the question. How is that feel the highest self?
How does it
How is that
feel?
feel? How is that feel in the
Oh,
highest self? Because it's like something people saying, "Oh, is that my highest self talking to me, or that's my ego talking to me, or someone else talking to me?" I mean, the low vibration
yeah.
energy is talking to me. They didn't know how to recognize that's really truly the highest self talking to them.
Yeah. Well, when you're in your ego mind, that's the fears, doubts, worries, judgments. Oh, well, you're not going to be able to do this. You're not good enough, or this and that. It's like our personality wants to just, that is where our limiting beliefs and our struggles
Okay.
come from.
Mm-hmm.
Our higher self is a beautifully higher vibrating self that's going, oh, isn't this nice? Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this interesting? It's like everything is just what it is. There's an allowing that happens without judgment. And that's a huge piece for our healing, letting go of all judgment and just allow the universe to expand as it needs to. Yeah. So it's all very helpful.
Yeah, that's amazing because yeah, I remember yesterday I went to the first time I went to the monk Buddhist temple, and that was I had a profound experience with the meditation. That was so quiet. That was really high frequency. Even you just only cross over the door, just only I get in, I felt that higher frequency. But then I found myself somewhere. I couldn't describe by words because everyone needs to describe. And then I saw myself far away. I was thinking, is that my, I was thinking, I didn't have a thought even. But I was like that feeling inside me, oh, is that my highest self watching me? Or who is that? Yeah, so that's why the question pop up. Is that higher self or me far, far away? Like I've been a
Mhm.
thousand miles and or eons far away. So yeah. So that's why I would like to bring it because sometimes the people go to that issue saying, okay, that's doubting and that kind of things. And they're thinking
Yeah.
that's the higher self, but it's not really higher self.
Well, it's a higher level of conscious awareness. Like there's the
Yeah.
level of the thinking mind,
Yeah.
but above that is imagining, intuiting, creating, allowing, expanding our awareness. So we go to those spaces of observing, being neutral, intuiting, manifesting. So that's the nice part too, is the more we increase our frequency and our vibration, the faster we manifest things in our life that we want. Because we're letting go of the things that hold us back, the blocks, the struggles. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the people have got a lot of blockages, a lot of energetic blockages. I would like to articulate this because that's so crucial.
Yes.
So then they struggle in their life. Or they struggle
Yeah.
because they've got a blockage, yeah, and they're not aware and just start blaming and judging others. So time to remove, time to just transmute that energy for the highest, for the good. So
Yeah.
yeah, you answer my question. I would like to ask how they can see what you said. They see the flow, they see the changes in their life, they see abundance everywhere, so they won't be questioning anymore. Uh, would you mind just really tell a little bit more around how
Mhm.
is that changed now? Because where's that really come from? Because you said at the beginning, I would like to go back at the beginning and ask you about your spirit guides and when they told you, okay, Jane, go and do this course, go and do this field clearing. So how is that? I'm so just curious about they gave you that information and you start writing down, or how was that process?
Oh, how the process in a way worked.
Yes.
So it's kind of a much bigger story though,
Oh,
because, many years I was working with flower essences and spirit guides and nature spirits. And I used to walk
wow.
around in my 20s going, I wonder if I have any spirit guides. And then the more I worked with them and the more I was reading things that I loved,
Mm,
the more and more that they would just come forth and be present. And it's that intuitive knowing. It's like having a team that helps you. Like sometimes I'd get information in my dreams and stuff. And after a while, I would just laugh and say, I think I have thousands of them, Um, but we all do, every single one of us. No one comes onto this planet alone. We all have at least three or four guides or angels. And very often, when one of our loved ones or ancestors passes on, then they also become one of our angels, They're watching over, they're supporting us, they help to protect us, but they can't do anything unless we ask
Yeah.
because we have free will. That's the big key. When I say, well, I really want to know, like I really want some help with this. What do you think I should do? You know, their connection to us is always available. The challenge is our connection to them is not always available. We have to put an intention out. We have to ask for assistance, ask guides, ask questions, ask for some healing.
Mm.
And when we do, it's letting them know what we're ready for. So that's kind of how it works,
Oh, wow.
and everybody should really learn how to tune in a little bit more with their guides, their higher self.
Did you have any doubts? I mean, doubts around when you've been when you created, or when in that process, during that process, when creation happened around the biofield clearing?
It definitely was not doubts as I was putting together some of these charts, and I'd make list of, like, let's say there's like 36 or 40 traumas that could be happening in somebody, or chronic stress, or blocked energy in the body, or the chakras and stuff like that. It's just not so much that there was doubts, but my guides would actually help me be clear on what somebody needed, and also to trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
We could double check, is this correct? Because sometimes an answer will come up for somebody and I think, that doesn't even make sense to me. Does it make sense to you? And I ask them. And sometimes they'll say, oh, yeah, that makes complete sense. And I was like, wow, like it unravels a little story in a sense
Mm-hmm.
that helps them put it all together and see things. So it's really just coming from your heart and your soul. This is much more expansive, like thousands of times more expansive than just your mental energy, your thinking field. This is your heart and soul, your vibrational pattern. So it's really getting more into your heart. Your feeling state is intuitive instead of your analytical, logical mind, which is limited.
Yeah, that's true. So that's why it's really crucial to bring the heart and brain coherence together, or just only heart coherence. Yeah,
Mhm.
just when you synchronize that thought and with energy. I'm really fascinated about the working with the spirit guides and writing biofield clearing. Oh wow, that's so amazing. And now that's supporting a lot of people, and you are spreading your works around the world. So everyone can benefit from that course and from that modality
Yeah.
around the clearing. That's so amazing.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
So, I mean, people could go to biofieldclearing.com if they want to find out more. There's also classes that I teach, but there's a page on there, Find Your Practitioner. So you can work with somebody, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in the UK. I've got practitioners in Singapore and Indonesia and Canada and a few different countries.
Wow.
And we're still growing, you know. So, but it can be done by Zoom or by phone with anyone anywhere in the world. So that's the nice thing too, because we are, everything's energy and we're connected energetically.
Yeah, that's
So
true. Is anything, because I would like to just only ask, I'm always asking the people who is coming to my podcast, and the two more questions around themselves. So, what kind of them? I don't want to ask you about any kind of the challenge you came over, but if that challenge happened in your life before, so what helped you a lot to come over that challenge? In other words, as well, another part of this question is like, would you like to say something uplifting to the my audience?
okay, so I'd had really extensive training since like 1990 of exploring how our consciousness works, how our beliefs work, how we manifest, how we create, and discovering all the little things that get in the way. And that was it shifted my life completely. And then I was licensed to teach this type of work. So putting it together with all the holistic modalities that I was doing, it's almost like I knew I had a purpose when I was young, that I knew I wanted to help people learn how to heal according to nature, natural
Mm-hmm.
laws. So putting that all together. Um, and people already know, like when people have chronic ailments or illnesses, Could be cancer, autoimmune diseases, all kinds of stuff. And they know no matter what they're doing, they're really not completely getting better or healing. They're managing it perhaps, but how do you actually shift it and heal? You have to get down to the core of what's really pulling you down. What are those beliefs and struggles? It's not just, I mean, it's almost like, yes, a good diet or certain supplements is almost like a band-aid effect, or to medicate a symptom, to stop a symptom. But to really truly heal, we have to align ourselves with our true self, which is our higher and true self, our connection to this divine, unlimited, beautiful, creative source energy that we're all, it doesn't matter what your beliefs are or what religion, we're all created from that divine energy, you know? So maybe go out into the light every day, into the sunshine, into nature, and just drink up some of that energy. And one of the things that we do in the course too is how do you help someone absorb more light into their cells? It's like, yes, we can do that. How do you help someone be more clear, be more intuitive, open up their third eye?
Yeah,
So there's so much that could happen.
that's
But people
amazing.
know intuitively when they need assistance. They're looking for something. I think people are drawn to this more now than ever before because they are looking for something deeper to help them heal, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Um, is anything you would like to add?
Well, I just think that it's something that helps everybody, absolutely everybody, no matter what. And it's not just a one-time session and you're going to be good for life. You'll be, it's like, let's do more. Let's like really get more empowered, more aligned, manifest better, live the life that you choose, have more joy, happiness,
That's right.
have more kindness. All those higher vibrating things are what bring us up into a higher state of being, and our life becomes more magical. And I think most people want that. They want to feel more joy, more love, more peace in their life. And it's an innate human instinct. We want to end our pain and suffering, and we want to find more joy and peace. And
Yeah,
that's really what it's all about. So
that's true.
thank you.
That's true. So would you mind just only remind, you said that website, but is any different way that people contact you or just only through the website, or you've got something else to offer today for them?
They could go to my website at biofieldclearing.com, which is just about that. My personal website for sessions is
Mhm.
ultimatehealing.com. I've had that since the 90s. And people can contact me if they have questions through there. Um, and often what I do, which you may do as well, is sometimes for their first session to try it out, I give them a little bit of a discount,
Okay.
because it's kind of new for a lot of people and they want to experience it. So sometimes that can be really helpful as well. So, and I know the work that you do is absolutely beautiful and extraordinary because you've been, an intuitive healer for a long time and you were so drawn to this because it was like, that's exactly what I needed. So you
Yeah.
do very powerful work as well, especially with people in Europe. Mm.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Oh my God, I was manifesting this probably 1 year or maybe 6 months or something like that. I was talking to myself, to my highest self. I was like, where is that? Where is that? And then arrived. So ask and you can receive it.
Exactly. See, you did. You
But you need to
did.
have a patience to be a
Yes.
little bit with that. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, that will come. That will come. Thank you so much for coming here and accepting my invitation. That was so pleasure to
You are
having you here
welcome.
today.
I'm honored to work with you and help you out. So I wish you the best and everybody else as well. So be your own loving, kind self. Thank you.
Thank you so much.